This is the charcoal grill and smoker that finally let me relax during long cooks and still hit a steakhouse sear when I want it. It holds temperature with very little fuel and switches gears fast enough that I do not have to plan my entire day around it. This is the Char-Griller AKORN Kamado charcoal grill and smoker, model E16620. It is a Kamado-style charcoal cooker for people who want that steady low and slow control and high heat versatility without dealing with a fragile ceramic body. If you enjoy weekend barbecue sessions, if you want something that can handle a brisket overnight but also smash out a round of burgers for a crowd, this fits right in that sweet spot. I care about the design only where it actually affects cooking, and this one gets the basics right. The body is triple-walled and insulated, so the heat stays in and the wind stays out. That matters on real cook days because I can keep a low temperature steady without babysitting the vents every few minutes. The cooking grate is heavy cast iron. It holds heat, it lays down proper sear marks, and it does not warp under repeated cleanings. The lid locks and seals, which keeps the airflow predictable and helps the temperature recover quickly after I open it to check food. There are fold-down side shelves that double as a prep area, and the tool hooks keep my tongs and spatula off the ground. The warming rack pops in and out easily. I actually use it, especially when I am juggling burgers and buns at the same time. The cart has large locking wheels, so I can move the grill when I need to, and once the locks are on, it stays put. The easy dump ash pan is one of those things you do not think about until you use it. It makes cleanup a 2-minute job instead of a whole chore. Setup was straightforward. I put it together solo in about 1 hour. The manual is clear, the holes line up, and the hardware is labeled. After assembly, I did a short first burn to season the cast iron and get a feel for how the dampers respond. Lighting is simple. I put a couple of fire starters into a mound of lumped charcoal, opened the lower and upper dampers, and let it breathe. It gets to a mid-range grilling temperature in around 15 minutes, and if I need steak-level heat, I give it a little more time with the lid closed to let the cast iron grate fully heat soak. Dropping the temperature for smoking is as easy as closing the dampers to the tick marks I have learned from my unit. Those indexed marks are actually useful. After a few cooks, I had a repeatable setting for ribs, for chicken, and for hot and fast burgers. The built-in thermometer gives me a ballpark, but I trust my grill probes for exact numbers. Core performance is where this cooker earns its spot on my patio. For low and slow, the insulation and the tight seal mean I can sit at around 225 to 250 degrees for hours with a surprisingly small amount of charcoal. I can close the vents at the end of a cook and reuse the leftover lump next time. For high heat, the cast iron grate gives me that crisp crust on steaks and chops. I get even browning without constantly moving food around to dodge hot spots. Airflow is smooth. The humidity inside the chamber stays higher than a typical kettle, so meats do not dry out as easily. I can run a dry rub on ribs and still get that bite and clean pull without feeling like I am fighting the grill. I tested it the way I actually cook. On a family weekend, I loaded it with burgers. I had around 24 patties on the main grate, with buns and cheese hanging out on the warming rack. The cast iron put a great sear on the first batch, while the warming rack kept the finished ones hot without overcooking them. I did not feel cramped. The extra space matters when you are feeding a group. For ribs, I set the vents to my low setting and used a heat deflector to run indirect. I let the grill settle, set a probe at grate level, and walked away. The temperature creeped a little in the first hour while the metal heat soaked, then it locked in. I cooked a pair of racks for around 6 hours with only one small adjustment to the top vent when a gusty breeze kicked up. Ash did not clog airflow, and cleanup was just a quick pull of the ash pan once everything cooled. I also tried an overnight brisket. I filled the fire bowl with lump, lit a small area, set the vents to my known numbers, and went to bed. I woke up, checked the probe, and smiled. It was still humming along where I left it. The lid latch matters here. That little extra seal keeps the leakage down and helps the fire stay gentle. When it was time to wrap the brisket and push through the stall, I opened the vents a touch, and the temperature stepped up without overshooting. It is a calm way to cook, and that is not how I would describe a lot of charcoal grills. For a quick weeknight run, my go-to is chicken thighs. I bring the grill to a medium temperature, cook the thighs on the main grate until almost done, then park them on the warming rack while I open the vents and let the cast iron get screaming hot. I drop the thighs back on to crisp the skin. The recovery time is short enough that dinner does not drag. I have done pizza too using a stone. The grill gets hot enough to give me a nicely browned crust, and the smoke adds a little extra something you cannot get in a kitchen oven. There are a few thoughtful touches that make daily use smoother. The dual dampers have clear, repeatable marks, which means I do not have to guess every time. The side shelves fold down in seconds, which helps with storage. The tool hooks are simple and sturdy, and they keep the lid area clear so I am not fumbling as I open and close it. The cart height hits a comfortable working level, and the handle is placed so I can open the lid with one hand while holding a pan in the other. The weight is lighter than a ceramic Kamado, so moving it for cleaning the patio is not a workout, but it still feels solid and stable when I am cooking. It is not perfect. The built-in thermometer on mine reads about 10 to 15 degrees off compared to my Grate probe, especially during the first half hour of a cook. That is common with lid thermometers, but it is worth knowing. The side shelves are useful, but if you overload them with heavy cast iron pans, there is a little flex. The painted metal components will rust if you leave them uncovered in rain or snow. The ash pan handle and the shelf brackets are the first places I notice small spots after a storm. A cover solves that. The top vent on a brand new unit can feel loose until a bit of smoke residue builds up. After a few cooks, it settles down and holds settings better. None of these are deal breakers. They are the sort of small realities you only notice when you use a grill week after week. Where this cooker stands out is simplicity and consistency. I am not fiddling with dampers all day. I am not wasting fuel. I am not sacrificing sear for smoke or smoke for sear. I get both. When friends ask what I like most, I tell them it is the way it takes the stress out of cooking for a group. I can load it up, find the vent marks I know, and focus on the food. And when I want to go from ribs to a quick round of vegetables or steaks, I can do that without starting from scratch. If you want a Kamado-style experience, but you do not want an oversized, fragile ceramic cooker, this is a smart middle ground. It suits a new griller who wants to learn temperature control because the indexed vents and insulated body make it forgiving. It also suits an experienced backyard cook who wants a dependable daily driver for smoke, sear, and everything in between. You will get best results if you pick up a good cover, season the cast iron, and use a reliable temperature probe alongside the built-in gauge. Do that, and it will reward you with repeatable cooks and food that tastes like you were not fighting the grill to make it happen. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the Char-Griller A16620 AKORN Kamado charcoal grill smoker. Thank you for watching.